Hi guys, Mr. Hood here for lesson 2 of an unnamed, very soft and squishy modeling compound. And due to copyright laws, I will not name what it is. However, you've used it before with me. Anyhow, let's get started with this thing. We are going to make a polar bear. It should be fun. Here we go. So to start, you're going to need 2 containers of the polymer substance. I've rolled them up into balls, but you're going to need to take one of the containers and cut it in half, about, give or take. You're going to need a non-stick surface to work with. You're also going to need some sort of a cutting tool and some sort of a rolling pin. I'm actually using a spray can. But you can use whatever you have around. Now, I've divided one into roughly half. This half is a little smaller. That's the half I'm going to use for the head of our polar bear. Set these 2 aside for now, and we're going to work with the full piece. We have to roll it out into a snake form. These are going to become the legs, both front and back. Once you have it approximately the right width, now we have to divide it in half. And the easiest way to do that is to kind of roll it back on itself and then cut through it at the end. Just roll those up a little bit. That's what they look like close up. If you remember, I grabbed one full packet and I divided it in about half. And one of these 2 halves was going to be the head of our polar bear. Now originally I thought this smaller piece would work, but when I'm looking at this, I actually think that the larger of the 2 pieces would work better. So I think that's how I'm going to do this. Before we attach this part, we're going to set that over there for now. We've got to make this look like a polar bear's head. So to do that, I'm going to pinch about a ½ inch apart to start making the ears. Now to make the ears, you're going to have to kind of mold it and pinch at the same time to just try and get the right shape. Now I have a pair of ears on this. Set them down so I can work on them a little bit. Now I have to make a muzzle, or the nose. I'm going to take what's left over of trimming off the front legs to make a round ball just slightly larger than one of the ears. I'm going to stick that on the front, and now I've got to blend it into the rest of that shape. See how it sticks out like that? That's how I want it to look, but I want it to be smooth. So let's do that. There is the muzzle with the ears, just like that. Now we have to attach this to the front legs to start with. You're going to find that you're going to have to reshape the ears and some things as you go, just because it is so soft that it'll kind of lose its shape a little bit until you leave it alone. So I'm going to grab this front part of the legs and I'm just gently going to stick them on to the head. And I'm going to leave that like that. Now you're going to flip the head and front legs over. Now we have to bend this around almost as if you're making a turtle shell. I'm going to stick that right below the head and then stand it up and bend it around to touch the front legs, like that. The rest of this is going to become the two rear legs and paws. So first we have to create the paws. And to do that, I'm going to pinch one end and then the other. Trying to make a triangular shape on each end. Now if you bend it forward, you can see that they don't match exactly. And that's okay, they don't have to match. But you might want to get them a little closer. Maybe like that. Okay, so now about halfway, I'm going to do this the same way we did the top leg. Bend it in half, cut it, and now they're separate. Standing up to bear, angle one of the legs towards the front, and then attach the other leg at about the same spot, angle it towards the front, that. And that last little ball that we made, we're going to attach it in the very back and make a tail, just like that. Now there's not a ton to do before we let it dry, except we want to put some details in on the paws. You can take a knife or a toothpick or any clay tools you have and do this. You're going to cut 1, 2 notches on each of the paws, and that's going to split it. And then you've got to do the same thing with these back paws. I find it easier to lay it down and then cut those toes while it's leaning on the table. And then they keep that shape when I lift it up. It also kind of flattens the nose a little bit, which I kind of like. So now that it's dry and paintable, I do have a couple other things I wanted to do. Now I have a small knife, I have a sharpened pencil, and then a large yarn needle. Now I wanted to try and see if I couldn't make some eyes by creating a negative space like that. And that works pretty good. Even while it's dry, the center of it is still damp, and so you can still make adjustments this way. The other thing we can do is, maybe even by using this tool, I can kind of flatten out the center sections of the ears, and they're more likely to stay without messing up the shape that I have the overall bear in. And it works. So now the ears have that dip in them, and I think that'll help. And I think we're just about ready for paint. So go get all your paints and come back. Now's a good time to pause. Get the color I want. Now that I have the purple made, I can start painting. I'm going to paint the eyes, and I'm going to purposefully mess up so that I can show you how to fix it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a damp paper towel, and I'm going to rub it over the spot, and take a dry corner, wipe it off, and you get it wet again, and there we go. Now I've got to do it on the other side too. Looking at it, and since I still have so much of this purple paint left, I think I'm going to paint the inside of the ears the same purple color. I thought I would push a little divot in the clay. Now that's fully mixed, but I think I want it to be a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to do the exact same thing again. I'm going to put a divot in the polymer, add a couple drips of dye, and then I'm going to continue the folding process again. Now that I have the color that I want, I have to shape it. Now I have a nice piece of polymer that I can use to make a scarf or a tie or anything like that. I'll see you later.